Okay, so when people spin out, I see this all the time. And this is the same for any game. It doesn't matter if it's iRacing, GTR2, Race Room. Um, One thing I learned early on, especially when I was doing NASCAR oval racing, like early 2000s, if you spin out and you restart the wrong way, you're just gonna keep spinning. And when you're spinning, either you spin back on the track or you're spinning when other oncoming traffic and they have to change their lane or slow down because you're spinning instead of getting it right. That's like not cool for the other driver. Like you're slowing them down. I know it's like, oh, who cares, the other guy? I'm not. Well, you should care about other people you drive with, and you should care about not screwing them up. Like that's not cool. It's selfish. So let's take a look at this video. Porsche could be very slippery car. Driver gets too close to the other car, hits him in the back, hits the inside, goes into the wall. Braking, braking, braking. We're going to slow it down a little more. Almost at full brake, then hits the gas again for some reason, even though it's getting too close to the other car. Braking, gas. Should have been still braking here. Or brake and gas to make your braking more controlled. Gassing all the way here. Bad job. Now decides to brake when it's like, oh shit, here comes the wall. Bam. Let's turn it up. Sitting there, because now it's like, oh shit, what the hell just happened? So it's a lot of times the driver will take a second to process what the hell just happened. Backs up. That's good. This is the way you should do it. Don't back all the way back on the track. Now he's in first gear. Nails it all the way and spins out. Okay, what was done wrong here? Number one, the person's still thinking about the incident that just happened, so they're not really thinking 100% about what's going on. So, when you're at this point right here, it's time to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, clear your mind, clear your thinking, and think, what do I got to do next? Rather than just rush. Because all rushing is going to do is cause you more lost time. Take it for somebody that's slow and has to minimize. Being a slow driver, I have to minimize every mistake I make. A mistake like this is going to cost me from finishing on the lead lap or even being 2 laps down. A faster driver, you know, some will say they can make up time, but once you lost time, you're not making up time. When you go to make up lost time, more mistakes happen. But right now is an opportunity to take a deep breath, clear your mind. Don't blame it on the other guy for being slow through the chicane. You're the one that made the mistake. You should have lifted. You should have controlled your slide by using the brake and gas at the same time, and you didn't. So, not much damage. Backs up. Brakes. Big mistake here. I see this all the time. People do this every single race. I see somebody do this. You know, he didn't need to back up like he did because he's in the breakdown lane. That's all right. It's still very safe. But here's what he does wrong. Here, watch. He tries to get back on full throttle. What he could have done when he was back here, bump your TC up to like 6 so it's safer on the grass. See, there's no gold or yellow coming up on his TC when he's gassing here. He should have stayed in second. In the beginning, he should have see once he put it in second, away he went. Let's go back a little bit. Backs up. Got in first gear. It stalled. And he guns it. If he put it in the second gear right here, there would be less traction on the car, and he would have been able to just go along his merry way and most likely not spin like that. But now he's cost himself. Let's go back and count it. By not gathering himself, turn it all the way up. Right now, here's a spot where he should have gassed and braked at the same time. Hits the wall, braking too late. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, 13,000, 14,000, 15,000, 16,000, 17,000, 18,000, 19,000, 20,000, 21,000, 22,000, 23,000, 24,000, 25,000, 26,000, 27,000, 28,000, 29,000, 30,000, 31,000, 32,000, 33,000. Let's say 40 seconds before he got back up to full speed here. So this whole, from the time where he could have gathered himself, cost him at least a minimum of 35 to 45 seconds off his time and multiple positions. That's not good, nor is it smart. Now, I'm a slow racer. You could say, this guy's... No, because you have to minimize your mistakes. Being super fast isn't everything. And something like this can happen in a race. You don't just quit. Get back in there. Use the rest of the race as a chance to learn, chance to practice, a chance to learn how to be passed by other drivers, a chance to learn how to pass other drivers, a chance to make your setup better for the next time you race this car. Use it. Use the time wisely. Don't just quit just because you're not going to finish any longer on the last lap. I mean, if I knew I wasn't going to be a lap down, if I knew I was going to be a lap down every race, why even bother racing? Because, I mean, it's not be pointless. Because that's like every race for me. But I do know the less mistakes I make like this and minimize the amount of mistakes I make, the better. The other thing is, why not to do this is because if you do this on a track where there's other drivers and you're spinning, doing this on the track, you're just screwing the other guy. And I don't know about other people, but when people drive like that in front of me, I remember that. I especially remember it during practice races. Because in a practice race, I'm going to send a message. Points race, they avoid you at all costs and stay away from you. And I think it's important to be a good sport. But it's also important for people to learn their lesson. I'm doing this. And I see the same people making the same mistakes over and over like a broken record. Stop doing mistakes like this. It's not good for your fellow drivers.